welcome back to another episode of the Unturned podcast. I'm your host, cucuycharles, and I'm joined once again by the Knight Rider.
It's dark and lonely in here.
And we have our two guests today, NSTM.
Hello.
And Animatic.
Hey guys, I'm sorry for the jump scare.
Our other two hosts are busy, I assume. I know Trident's busy. Z-Man, I don't know. So,
and Trident also did not want spoilers. And we are going to be discussing spoilers. So, this is your warning.
Yes, so, if you're going to just, cry in the comments section, I don't want to hear that. Warning you now.
Well, technically he does. He drinks the tears. It sustains him.
Shut up.
It's not even spoilers for the map. It's just spoilers for a bunch of shows that,
Yeah, we're not going to say the shows either.
Marvel.
We're gonna spoil very, very specific things that you may not even care about.
Exactly.
Well, nevertheless, if you don't want to get spoiled about anything, just not listen to this episode. Okay, so let's get started into questions. I know Knight has a couple of questions for you guys.
A couple.
So I want him to go first because I know he's dying inside.
I freed up my entire evening for this.
Okay, yeah, good. We'll be here a couple hours. Well, first of all, let's start with normal questions about the map before we get into the meat of, the lore questions and all that. So, what was your vision for Kuwait when development first started, and how did that change over the course of development? Because I know it started, 4 or 5 years ago now.
Let me paint you a picture. It's October 2016. There are no desert maps. I live in a desert country. And this is in the era that everyone is making a map based off the country that they live in. So, you put two and two together, and then you end up with a really obscure desert country that happens to be, an area where a big war broke out and a lot of unturned players seem to be interested in. So, That's one. But the second part of the question was how did it change over time?
Yeah.
No specific idea. The whole game design aspect of a desert is just, it's not grassland, so it's going to be difficult. So at the time, I really liked Yukon, and I think you can see where this is going. So
it's Yukon with sand instead of snow.
Well, both are technically deserts. A desert isn't necessarily just sand.
True.
But other than that, it only took that long because I was learning how to mod at the same time I was going to school, and a lot of other stuff happened during that time. I ended up releasing the map on the workshop in 2018, and I got bullied for it, so I took it down. And to be honest, it wasn't that good. And I made a whole corporate announcement saying, I'm sorry for taking it down. I will be remaking it. And I remade it. And the rest is that, I guess. There isn't much interesting to... wait, how do I say this? There's anything more interesting to say without getting into really long specifics that are drawn out and aren't that interesting, like I keep saying.
All right. Well, it turns out most of my questions are actually lore-related that I wrote down. So let's look at some viewer questions. Black Furniture asks, why did you choose Boubion Island to have the dead zone?
Mainly because it was an island, and there wasn't really any good reasoning behind it. Most of the decisions were based off of where real-life locations are. So the cities are roughly where they are. The military base is kind of where it would be. But it's not entirely accurate. I guess I just chose the island because I wanted something isolated. But to begin with, Dead Zone wasn't going to be this whole, let's say, historical area. It was literally just going to be the Russian. No, it was going to be the Washington Scorpion 7 model with whole kilometers of nothingness, and something told me that wasn't going to be very fun or interesting. I don't know what exactly ticked that off, but
This maybe.
Just a thought.
All right. So, Dynanate asks, for Animatic, do you plan to work on another map that will take 4 years to release after the final Kuwait update?
Oh, no.
No, this time I'm aiming for 8. Keep doubling it.
Okay.
Exponential growth. That's the key.
Yes, exponential growth. I like
When
it.
it comes to time, I'm just gonna just keep making it more and more. So what will be the next one? Like 12 years for the next map after that one?
No,
No,
if it's
next one will be
exponential, it's gonna be
16, bro.
Yeah,
I'm just saying adding 4. I mean,
that's
okay.
not exponential.
I mean,
You don't
know your
slow
math.
growth. But okay.
All right. Now, Ronga wants to know, how did you make the super event? I assume that is a technical question.
Super event as in with
The eye,
the
or
eye or
Probably
plus?
the eye floating up into the sky
that's
after you
just an
complete the
object.
class.
I mean, they're all objects, but
Yeah.
that one's
Mhm.
just a regular client-side object. It's the same like way that you'd have a bunch of crops show up after you hand in a quest for 5 seeds.
Okay.
You just tie an object in animation, and we have 2 objects for both the eye and the liberator. One of them is just plain animation. The other is just the object sitting there. The eye in itself is just an inverted sphere, so that's the following effect. Kind of,
Yo.
yeah. It's actually the exact same model as the skybox for the Elver areas, but don't tell anyone that. You didn't hear it
Well,
from me.
that's pretty dope. I hear in like in statues in some ruins and stuff, they inverted the eyes to make it look like the eyes follow you wherever you walk. So that's how they did it in ancient times. So Gyro asks, "Hey Animatic, are you and NSTM together in a love life?"
Next question.
Next question. I really don't want to be arrested.
Damn. All right. Fluffy Fan Kuchin asks, for Animatic, what did you do to motivate yourself to work on the project and come up with the idea for the project?
Come up with the idea. So we already mentioned that. That's just
Yeah, you
everyone's making
live in Kuwait, so
everyone's making maps based off of where they live. But
Mhm.
interesting point is, over time, I realized that maybe Kuwait isn't going to be the most interesting thing. Like, if you're going to do a desert, why not do, you have all the obelisks and you have a bunch of culturally related events. So why not do Egypt, for example? I'm actually Egyptian. I'm not Kuwaiti, so why not do Egypt? And I had a bit of a revelation that maybe I should stick with Kuwait, mainly because, like I said, there's a lot of gun nuts and war nuts in Unturned, and
Mhm.
maybe that could bait them to play the map because they'd be interested in seeing all the
And it worked because there were the
events,
memes.
let's just say. But I don't think that's the entire reason why people play the map, but I think it was a big reason to keep going with it. As to how I motivate myself, I wasn't always motivated. I'd wake up like for weeks. Sometimes I'd be like, God, I don't really feel like doing much. I'm just gonna stare at my monitor for 8 hours and just stare at it, essentially.
Man, I feel that.
Doesn't help
So,
me on the Optiplex either, does it?
I'm gonna beat
see.
my monitor in. That's an
Witness Protection asks, for Animatic, what is your favorite witness protection video?
Aha, Richard, how's it going, man? Really like the one where you show what's under your bed
Oh,
and
no.
what's inside your closet. That's brilliant, man. Keep up the good work, Richard.
That's
Bro,
no, no.
bro, cut that out, Charles. You gotta cut that
I'm
out
not
in
cutting it
post,
out, but
bro.
that's
No,
just okay.
Nah, man, I'm being
Alright.
serious.
Pulse Blade Bonehead asks, for Animatic, why did you add the Chuck Sniper and why does it have to be crafted?
I was peer pressured by a bunch of gun nuts to add guns I don't like. But, instead of just adding a one-shot sniper rifle and have it be a found item, what other way can I make it more interesting to
Okay. Now I'm curious, what gun is it based on? What real gun?
Chiappa Little Badger.
Yeah, look it up. You'll love that thing.
Chiappa.
Little Badger. Yeah. Just look
Little
that up, and that's
Badger.
the one it's based off.
Yeah, bruh, it's so puny.
I don't know what you mean.
Bro, it's so puny. Okay, anyways, let's see. J-Dance asked, for Animatic, if you could change something that happened early on in the project for Kuwait, what would it be? I know many map developers have regrets about planning out certain things poorly and such.
Nothing really to do with planning. I just made everything up as I went along. Like the few things I ended up planning before releasing the map was remaking the dead zone. I made a whole plan for that just to make it more interesting. But there isn't really anything I can plan with my knowledge back then, or change with my knowledge back then rather, because I didn't know what I was doing. I was just honestly just doing it because hey, I want to make a map.
Okay.
There's no real design insights that go into it. Whereas now I'm looking at locations and areas on the map, and to give you an example, the northern farm used to literally just be a massive wheat field, and I think you can imagine why that isn't too fun. I think one of the questions that are coming up is why I have a giant cucumber plant up there, but we'll get to that when we get to that, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Explain more.
All right. So, okay, Renaxon asks, I'm not sure what he means by this. He asks, what were some takeaways after releasing Kuwait? Capital D.
I think that's a smiley face, Knight Rider.
That's
I think
it.
you should get
Yeah,
Are you
no,
serious?
no,
Wait.
I think it's some kind of code.
I thought you were...
Yeah, open your drive.
Is this part of the
File.
ARG?
Well, anyways, takeaways from the map would be, I should have copyrighted my map just to make sure an Axon didn't copy the whole biome, I swear to God.
Oh,
That guy, oof. He gets on my nerves. He really annoys me. Like,
bro, call him out, bro.
You're
Say
airing out dirty
his
laundry.
name.
hell yeah. The malnourished Unturned nappers are gonna have a fight.
Yes! Yes!
Actual takeaways, though. I probably shouldn't have spent 4 years on that. I could have worked a bit more efficiently, but let's move on from that. I don't want to keep self-deprecating myself and whatnot,
Alright then, Toothy Deereye says, to Animatic and NSTM, will you take me with you on your next animated trailer journey if you decide to make another one for any possible future map projects?
Perhaps.
Depends. Are you willing to voice more gentleman for any future map projects as well?
Yo, bet.
They require more. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, why not? Good work, good animation. I think people liked it, and I'm not going to say I don't mind making the stuff myself, but it's definitely easier to instruct others to do it for me, especially when I'm essentially working from a bomb that has turned it into a PC. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Dude,
okay, I got my
up,
notebook out. I'm gonna be taking notes now.
Hold up, before you start taking notes, I want to say this about the trailer. I find it kind of funny that like almost like a bunch of people in the comment section, people that were talking to me, immediately said, "How did?" Do you think should have just been the person that made the Unturned console trailer?
Yeah, honestly,
there's no denying that there's some
I don't know.
passion missing from it, but
I don't get it, man. It's just like everyone was like,
bro, the people who made Unturned console don't care about the community, so they probably don't even know he exists.
just redo the
I
console
thought they're all of the people who are doing Unturned console now are like a different company now. So
they're Cradle. Yeah,
that's true. The people, I should say, the people who did.
Yeah.
In the past, yeah.
I'm hoping that they do well with that because I want to see that succeed as well.
All right, now the meat, the lore questions. Everybody, spoilers now, but I will be releasing all this information in a video probably. Okay, yo, who that? Who that? Who that boy?
Oh my god, it's Trident Games.
Joined right during the lore
we're
section.
literally just about to get into the spoilers.
I know.
Missed
I
it.
just wanted to say like NSTM or Animatic. I don't know why we would use abbreviations. I love you guys. Thank you for making the map. Thank you for updating it. You know,
I love you
honestly.
too,
That's so
Also,
Trident
wholesome.
Games.
It really was a good
Yeah.
map and a good update.
I still haven't played it yet, and Animatic knows. I don't know if you know that, NS, but I just authentic reaction. I'll try to post a video about it on Saturday, maybe. Usually that's when I post. I'll run by like some.
Actually, not showing up for the
What do you
podcast.
mean?
Comes in
Shut
here
up,
to
shut
plug
up.
Says
his
promoting
video,
this shit.
bro.
I know,
Come
I
on,
respect
if
the
they
hustle.
not get your
He's like, I
video,
usually
Get
post
out
on
of
such
here.
Saturday.
Get out of here,
Okay,
bro.
Whoever's editing this, can you link the video right now?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
He's like,
Okay. I'm gonna do
Channel
an
top description.
man. All right, I'm not showing freaking Night or Kukui the animation segment. It's all gonna be between you and Anne.
I actually hope you get AIDS.
Can I post the
I
cat
think that's a bit
animatic?
messed up, man.
It is messed up. Okay, so first question. We got to get this out of the way. Is Kuwait set in our main universe?
Could you elaborate?
Like the one with the other curated maps, except Elver. I know Elver is an alternate universe, but like the other curated maps, the main maps, is it meant to be compatible with those?
I like to think that a lot of aspects of the map are isolated to their own bit. Or by bit, I mean universe, I guess.
Okay.
It's mainly because of my belief that not every curated map is going to be connected to each other, and I think,
thank you.
no offense, but
Whatever you say, Charles.
Some sane in the world, bro. Thank God. Literally, I hate Knight Rider. He thinks that like everything is somehow connected. I'm sorry.
It
just
is,
doesn't
it
work.
is.
It doesn't
Next
work
map.
like that. It doesn't work like
Don't
that.
worry, don't worry. Next map, I'll put an ensign Sydney somewhere, so that way you gotta figure out how they got there.
All right, but okay. So when did the ancient civilization on Bubion Island live? I looked into it, and the earliest recorded settlement in Kuwait was around 8,000 BC.
So just to get meta real quick,
I hate
if you get
this.
far enough, I hate this. Okay, yeah. If you get far enough in the NPC quest line, there are two quite literally filler NPCs wearing grass skirts and togas on Icarus, and that's mainly because no, I'm bringing this up for a reason. I swear. When you say Icarus, if you've ever looked at a map of Kuwait in real life, it's that island isn't actually called that. It's just a nickname, and it's called Icarus because of the Greeks. Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great settled there for a brief moment, and the name Icarus was given to it. And I think you all know the story of Icarus. I might be pulling stuff out of my. Am I allowed to swear?
You can. I do all the
Yeah.
time. I don't care. No one cares.
Leave the next 5 seconds.
No.
I don't want to try making stuff up, but last I recall, that story of Icarus could have some relation to the map and the island. So someone flew too close to the sun, fell back right down, and burnt their bum cheeks. It's a bit of a sad story.
It's funny
As
because I was
for-
making fun of those NPCs when I replayed the quest line. I was making fun of them. I was like, I was with a call at night. I'm like, look at these guys.
These little
Because of
fellows.
Greece. I just thought of Greece. I was like, alright, no.
It was one of the first NPCs made for the map, actually. They just stuck around because they're cockroaches. Can't
It
get
looks
rid of
like
them.
it. Yeah.
Oh, can't
But-
get rid of them.
Yeah, those are
In
remnants
terms
from
of,
a couple years ago, I think.
Yeah,
2
in
years
terms
ago.
of back 2-4 years ago, who knows? Time flies. In terms of the actual dead zone, we could get into it later.
Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking it seems obvious to me at least that they tapped into this dimension where the eye is from. So my question to you is this like an alternate universe? Is it a higher dimension that's still within our like space? Or is it like something else entirely, like a whole new reality that these people stumbled upon, and then they used that. I assume they used that knowledge and magic or whatever you want to call it to build all of this powerful stuff. They probably connected to it from the altars that you can find, where the galvanizer sort of is given birth to whenever you press it.
You said a whole new, and I thought you were going to break into song. I'm just really happy that didn't happen.
Bro, alright. Yeah, I would never.
Toledo, Ohio, that's it.
So, there have been a few, iterations of what the Dead Zone area could have been. In my head right now, I don't want to reveal too much because I don't really feel like it.
Bro.
That's your only reason is you don't feel like it?
No, there's better ways to do what I have in my head. But it does revolve around, it's not just a dream. I'll say that now. A lot of people seemed upset. That's like, I went through the entire quest. I got really excited, got my hopes up. All for it to be a dream. No, it's not a dream, man. I promise you can keep your faith in me.
Yeah, I interpreted that as like your character's consciousness went to this other place, kinda.
Keep in mind that literally everyone vanishes as soon as you take the quest. It's not because you're a bit stinky, you didn't take a shower. There's a reason for that. Besides it being cool, obviously.
Being a bitch to code.
That's you. But yeah, I'd say it's some form of other universe. I think there are ways to show what type I have in my head. I will say Sebastian, Doonman, two good characters. I really like the thumbs up, and I hope I can bring them back eventually if I make another map. But if not,
so that Divine Dune Man guy, is he like some sort of trickster spirit or something? Because he's kind of everywhere in time. He signed that armor plate that you can find during the quest. He was in the alternate universe with the evil eye and all that. So is he just some grifter who happened to stumble across this stuff, or is he more like a trickster spirit type of dude?
Merchant.
He's a businessman first and foremost. And he really likes money. But he also has a heart of gold. Look at that smile and tell me that he is not people first.
Of course not. I mean, he sold the Maple Strike to you. How friendly.
Yeah, the Maple Strike.
It's
kind of funny that you were saying earlier, Animatic, that you didn't want to listen to... You had to listen to Gun Nuts, right? So you had to add like a specific gun, right? But then you added... you made a mockery of the Maple Strike, so I find that kind of a bit funny that you would do
you do not believe how cathartic that was.
Well, honestly. I do know that you said...
I think videos of it. Oh man, that was good.
I believe you did say something in the past, like you weren't going to do anything like that resembles the Maple for your map, if I remember correctly. Like, it was like something that you would keep off limits, like there was no way.
Yeah, most of the guns are semi-auto or burst. One exception for the AR would be the AK. But that thing ticks hard, so I think it's excusable.
I like it. I do still think the recoil should be toned down because I'm terrible at the game, but other than that... Yeah, it is. Nah. Alright, so now the Phantoms. My theory is that after whatever incident happened that caused the Dead Zone, caused the pillars and obelisks to float, the denizens of that island somehow got trapped between universes, and that sort of paradox drove them mad. We perceive them as phantoms, and they're aggressive because their mind can't handle what happened to them. Is that what happened?
Naturally, I think I should say no because that is a very specific idea.
Interpretation.
Again, no offense. I respect your creativity, but I don't think that's the case.
Or are they just ghosts?
That'd be too generalization of it.
We could just leave it at their ghosts right now.
You keep saying
it were up to me.
Now, you keep saying right now. Are there going to be future Kuwait updates, or maybe this will be expanded upon in future maps that you make?
Maps, not updates. Like I'm only doing like a few minor fix updates, maybe like one content update that isn't even going to be made by me necessarily. So we'll see.
So this is the last content update that you're doing. Is that correct?
Yes.
Alright. Well, okay, hold on. That is kind of worded in a weird way. I think there's not going to be many other content updates, and then even then, he's still in control of the map. It's not going to be like, oh, I'm going to hand off this map to this other group, and then they're going to start updating the map in their own weird way.
No, I didn't tell you I sold it off to Ubisoft.
Oh yeah, okay, cool. Yeah.
The French
we gonna get towers that you can jump off of now, bro.
Dude, if they got their hands on this, they're gonna send a lawsuit to Rice Chef. Don't do that,
bro. All right, scratching out trapped between dimensions. Okay, well, as for the spectral stuff, I definitely do think that the altars had something to do with them tapping into the dimensions, and them tapping into the dimensions caused whatever disaster made all this crap happen, and possibly they used this interdimensional or ultra-terrestrial technology to make that stuff. My question is it like spectral energy that's like this other type of like fictional energy that you've created for this universe? Kinda?
Back to the Dead Zone. I'm surprised you haven't brought up the obelisk symbols at all. Or not to my knowledge at least.
I mean, I figured those were more just Easter eggs than anything.
Some of them are. I need to fill the space, but the others I tried to be kind of cryptic with, and generally speaking, I tried to tie them into my thoughts when making the Dead Zone. So your thought was, like the altars, specifically the ones that give you the guns, are like the cause behind, the entire area going to hell. But I wouldn't say it's necessarily
the start of it. I'd say I do know the epicenter is probably the obelisk area.
I wouldn't say there's necessarily an epicenter, and I wouldn't say it's caused by the island. So the way I see it is, I might as well explain it here because this is relating to the map itself, but I kind of made a drought-struck texture for the island. If you take a look at it, it's like kind of cracked and craggly and stuff. And on the obelisks, there's symbols for the sun and clouds and water. So I was hoping, this is very cryptic and it's a very long reach, but I was hoping that those symbols would tie in together to show that, I was going to say heat stroke, but no, it's more of drought-stricken land, and water is the source of civilization. So that's the area for the Dead Zone, at least in terms of the infection. I'd say spread naturally, and we were talking about the island itself being part of a different universe or a mirror dimension, or whatever fancy term you want to coin.
Any one of like those. That. Bunch of wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff,
Don't say that.
So, in that case, I want to ask: is the like shadowy void area and the Outlands, which by the way love the Arizona reference, are those the same universe, or is it like you go into the Void Eye universe and then that takes you to the Outlands, which would be Arizona, and they're two separate planes?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? I think my headphones cut off for a minute.
Yeah, no problem. So, is the Arizona part, the Outlands, and the void that you go into sometimes, part of the same universe, or is it like you travel into that void universe to travel to the Outlands universe and then back?
The Outlands are definitely a different region. I'm glad that you mentioned that it's Arizona. That's a big reference to 2.0 with the whole Operation
really
Palm stuff.
Yes, my idea when I was thinking that they were trapped between dimensions, I was thinking those denizens, the 2.0 characters, were the original inhabitants of Bouillon Island, trapped there now, and that's why they're like, take me with you, take me with you.
No, they just be, I think they know your true intentions to bomb their home, so they also they're really cuddly,
They are cuddly. So why do you want to bomb the bridge then? What is the motivation, Animatic? What is the character's motivation?
You're correcting the course of time. Something that shouldn't have existed still somewhat does, so it's time to correct it.
It's I was talking tonight about this in the monument. I was explaining to him that there's two occurrences that are connected, with one is separated. I don't know. I was like, if you want to do a video, literally, this is the biggest piece right here. Was when you were on the obelisk in the void, and it had the Liberator, and I forgot what else. Liberating the Eye, and it was what seems to be the explosion, were separated by a line. And I was telling Knight that this is really one of your biggest pieces here of what you probably could conjure up in the theory, but I don't know if it's at all is relevant. You don't need to say if it is or not, but
I'll definitely.
I wouldn't mind. I will definitely say that one side of the obelisk does have the eye, B, a ship, which ends up being the Liberator, and then the third is a bunch of stars that signify the voids that you travel through, and that's been there since the release of the map.
That's exactly the ones that Charles was talking about, and that's what those were. I thought it was supposed to be a mythical effect or something.
I thought it was
like just a funny reference.
No, the consumerism one was on the other side of the obelisk. I think the exact other side, which had it had the Doomman's Durag. It had a cat, and we can get into that later if you're curious.
Oh yeah.
And I actually forgot, what was the third one?
I gotta give me a sec. Let me go find it.
But yeah, one of them was a cat. So
just a normal cat.
Now, my question about the galvanizer, since it appears on the altar, but it's also advanced technology, so did the ancient civilization build the galvanizer, or did they find it through this interdimensional stuff?
that same question could be applied to everything else.
Pretty much, actually, yeah.
So, killed two birds with one stone. They probably made it.
Okay.
There's a reason it's only visible in that island and near those little towns. So.
All right then, and let me see. Okay, I sort of wrote these questions in the order I believe that they happened. So let me see. Okay, I'm deleting them as I ask them. Okay. So what can you tell us about Big Man? Is that like is that an inside joke, or does he have a real name?
It is not, and he does have a real name. Big Man.
Bro.
That's a good one.
I told you this before. I don't know why you're surprised.
Bro, I don't remember. Man, I got memory. Okay, so when exactly did Big Man die, or does the date even matter?
I will say he died sometime in 1900s. Let me get up the exact note.
January 7th, 19XX.
Yeah. So, lead and gas at that point was really common, so he might not have had the greatest grasp on time. So, But he was
Okay.
one hell of a linguist.
Yeah.
You can see, he had a
Oh,
passion
yeah.
for it besides banking. So
Absolutely, and also a passion for being an absolute player. How's he have 83 sons and 2 daughters? How many moms are there?
Mitosis.
big man. He's everyone
Alright.
likes a banker, right?
Alright, enough about big man. Enough about fucking big man, bro. Alright, is there a story behind the mutated cucumber plant at Al Abdali?
Yeah, there's a story. It's quite simple and isolated, I'd say. Besides just wanting to remake that farm because it was god awful before, I made the plants just because it was something interesting. But in story wise, it's quite literally just a mutated cucumber plant. Someone used a bit too much fertilizer, and there's a small detail right next to the stem of the plant of inside the greenhouse.
Oh,
where it crashes through.
the green particle effect.
Yep, it's dripping. It's quite strong fertilizer. They use a bit too much, discolored the water, and it's still dripping, so it's still feeding.
Okay.
Grew quite tall.
Alright, I'm writing this down. Cucumber plant literally just
Oh my god.
happened. Lol. Okay,
It's got drip, so.
It's got the drip.
you do be having drip though. And alright, so let's talk about the hands in the mine shaft, the void hands. Charles thought it was a reference to what are they called?
I thought it was a reference. Well, the place where you get the trophy, right?
Mhm.
That little area reminded me a lot of Battlefield, and even the kind of the shape of the dome, which is usually the shape of the Melee. I'm referencing Melee, Super Smash Bros. Melee. I thought about Master Hand the moment I saw it because it was like a stage corner piece. It's really specific. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think it was a reference, but I'm like, it does fit the bill.
It is not a reference.
Okay.
I've never played a Smash game. I don't
Based.
have a GameCube. I do have a Dreamcast though. It's not related to anything on the Dreamcast though. You actually now that you bring up a specific game, I remember watching. I tried to bring up World of Warcraft. I think regarding the Outlands. I just want to say that is categorically incorrect.
Bro, look, it's the first thing I thought of, bro.
I never played that game. I respect the effort though. I will say that you would have been a lot more excited if I went through with my original plan for the update, which was going to be more of the void stuff where you have to literally survive in space. And I don't have any screenshots of that. I don't think. I'll have to look for it. But yeah, I clearly did not go down that path, so it's nothing to do with World of Warcraft either.
Yeah.
I like how you thought it was this guy's losing it.
What, bro? Okay. Well, so those hands, are they the hands of this mysterious entity, only called the Benefactor, who seems to be helping the player?
So the way I saw it was, I'm really holding back the urge to make a Better Call Saul reference right now.
Do it.
Finger! I laid finger on him! Okay. Disregard what I just said.
I hate you.
No, regard what he said.
Regard what he
I've
said.
seen that... okay, hold on. Let me just take a step back. You mentioned Benefactor. I just want to reiterate the fact that, to me, the Benefactor is the eye. It's blue. The text is all blue.
Okay.
Also, I think you missed a note somewhere.
Oh, I saw the one note that was underneath the when you wake up. The crap. Where is it? I took a screenshot of it.
That's a good guess.
Oh, that's a very good boy. Yeah, the Benefactor, accepted the duty to protect you from harm. See, the merciful, full of thought to prevent you from seeing harsh realities. You, the unable, unaccepting to not trek further. You may not see it all. You must be protected. And I honestly saw that as you trying to say, there will never be a clear answer, fuck you, okay, bye, to the player.
There was another note. Moving on.
Was it the wait? There was another note. Like, there? Do you mean the sheriff one?
Yes. You want to read that
okay,
one?
then,
Give us a good accent as well. I want to hear a good accent.
Pretty big day today. Caught a bandit trying to bust into the safe at the saloon with nothing but some good old-fashioned fisticuffs. Sucker didn't even manage 2 hits before he was out cold and croaking on the floor. Well, by any means, bartender was grateful and gave me a few more drinks on the house. Suppose I shouldn't have drank 'em all in one go, though. Stepped outside and saw this grand old metal tube of sorts pop out of nowhere on the horizon. The tremendous sound of something going zap, rolling through the air like thunder. Almost made me buckle to my knees. I'll wait it out in here. I reckon there's too much booze in me to think straight. I assume that was one of the trains, like the trains that have ICU on the side?
That was the train station itself.
The train station itself. So the train station wasn't always there.
It has frames. It's a 3.0 asset.
Speaking
go
about
back to the benefactor idea. Maybe the eye itself has different plans. Maybe it wants to protect you. Maybe you don't fully understand it. Okay. And maybe if you just call him back, leave him a message. Don't just leave him unread. You could bring back that relationship. He misses you.
The Eye of God Observatory.
Oh yeah, can I say something about the sheriff area? Where they get the note. I really liked that crafting. It was pretty fun. I was like, yeah.
Oh yeah, I liked that.
I liked it.
I was gonna do some more stuff with that, but I was worried that it might not work in multiplayer. Sadly, I was gonna do some puzzle where you have to use those components to blow up the safe, and the dynamite would be in there. But crafting also works, I guess.
That's what I thought was gonna happen. I'm like, isn't that gonna be done with the safe? And I'm like, okay. It's like what's inside the box for FNAF. What's inside the safe?
Yeah, I just clipped inside this. I clipped inside the safe to check, but no, it's just
there's nothing in the safe. It's like all on the head, bro.
Bro, listen. So, in that case, what did we kill? What was the boss? Because I thought that was gonna be like the physical avatar of the eye.
Oh, who said it isn't?
Then what is it, Animatic? What did we kill?
Just
You ever use your ears?
One thing you just killed is the mood, man. Come on, you don't have to scream at me,
bro. Sorry, I'm sorry.
To answer your question, you killed the eye, but what if that's what it wanted?
Oh shit.
This guy.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna have to download so many different nerd emojis and just put them in the video.
I'd love to see that.
So then, in that case, so if this is like some omnipotent, omnipresent being, then it can have multiple forms. Is the sentient caracal one of its avatars, bro?
You could see it like that. I prefer to see it as a cute little cat. But
that can talk.
We don't necessarily know the full picture there, I guess.
They're talking to you, but I don't know if they could talk.
Bro, is our character just crazy? Yo, don't answer that. Don't answer that. Don't answer that. I like that. I like the uncertainty.
I'm getting a call. I need to tend to this.
Bro.
Go ahead. Let me make fun of Knight Rider real quick. Knight, right. You are an imposter, bro. Just the sussiest player in the scene currently.
Literally do not care. Did not ask. Plus you're white.
You are sus.
Second.
You are the imposter among us. You know that, right?
Welcome back, Snow. All right, your turn to be grilled, NSTM. Did you come up with your characters specifically for Kuwait, or were they just there and you decided to use them?
So in July 6, 1995, I did not exist. 4 years ago, actually, though, I did exist. And I had a bunch of NPCs that I decided to create at the time because primarily NPCs just came out like, oh, cool, I could capitalize on this kind of thing and figure out how this works. Because, fun fact, no one likes to do NPCs because they're kind of a bitch to do because coding is not very fun unless you know what you're doing. So I had these NPCs in mind already beforehand, like probably very far beforehand. It's just like, oh, well, I know what I'm doing now, so I want to just reuse these characters, and then I just did that. Mostly just because I had a lot of items in my inventory, and then I made like sets with them, and then it's like, oh yeah, I named this set this or something, and it's like, okay, I'll change this name to this, and now this set, this appearance I now associate with this name. It's like, oh yeah, okay, so I created a character. And it's like, oh well, I'm making NPCs for Kuwait. I'll just put them on Kuwait.
Okay. All right. So then, how fleshed out are these characters? How much of like their personality and backstory do we not see in game?
Probably a lot more.
Yeah, I mean,
Significantly, because like honestly, they're just kind of like playing a role here in terms of
Mhm.
what they are and who they are. So,
Bro, like, yeah, I want to see more. Do you have plans of making any like companions stories involving these characters in Kuwait, like little spin-offs
He's asking for
of any
books.
sort?
He's
go
asking for
go
books.
go look on some other curated maps that came out in recent time.
I mean, yeah, I know Snow is in Elver and Dango, and is there and in Arid actually, yeah.
Hmm.
Let me see.
He's asking for books.
Yes, I'm asking for books. I'm asking for the Kuwait manga. When is the Kuwait manga coming out?
I'll find out and find in your local stores in approximately 3 weeks.
All right, awesome. So, who's your favorite character?
Just Grover Cleveland. What in what context?
Bro, you know what? Bro, who's your favorite character that you made for Kuwait,
Sure,
bro?
Mostly because I've been
Snow.
using her mostly for just like the purposes of just testing stuff in general and just like, oh yeah, this is the character I tend to use because I really like the freezing effect, and that was the original outfit or original effect that that character was associated with. And just like, oh yeah, I really like the freezing effect because it's a really nice effect. It's not too bad, not too subtle, or not very like super subtle, but it's also like a nice effect to look at. Just like, oh yeah, I'll just use this, and then that outfit kind of stuck with me for a while because I just use that character the most often. So it's like, oh, I'll just use it for everything else. And I've been primarily using it for like a lot of bug testing as well, and that's kind of just representative character. So
What do you think of the new freezing add-on?
I really like it actually. Like the old one was dandruff. It's just like
yeah.
it was dandruff. Like at the time, it was still pretty cool because like there was a large volume of effects and like it left a It the thing is like with that effect, it really left a nice trail, but still kept the character kind of like, hey, yeah, you can see the character because they have the glowing orbs on them. But now it's just like, oh yeah, it has a really nice effect now, so that's cool.
Alright, I was wondering, because I know a lot of people were like wondering, what does everyone else think about the freezing effect? Because not many people are actually talking about it. Like, it just changed, and everyone was like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, a lot of the effects got changed, and I've been trying to push it. This isn't even related to Kuwait at this rate, honestly, but while Animatic's gone, I could still ramble for as long as I want to. Freezing effect got changed. The musical effect actually got changed a while ago, and that just added more notes to the music effect, which I think is really a really important change. It's like, oh yeah, now it's not just the same thing over and over.
It's not this.
And I've been messaging Nelson a couple of times to tell him to like, hey dude, you gotta update the cosmic effect because this is kind of lacking.
Man,
I don't know if you've
the
seen cosmic effects before, but I could pull up an example somewhere here.
It's just glowing.
It's just 2 glowing orbs, and it's purple and yellow, which sure, it's pretty good, but man, all the other effects have glowing orbs, and now they have like particle effects with them too, whereas cosmic kind of just is kind of behind. It's very. He says it's fine though. Maybe that's just my opinion. I feel like it could have more.
Did you commission the porn?
What? What?
Did
you? Are you responsible for it?
What's happening?
What?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Relax,
what?
Night, relax, Night.
Bro, did you do it?
Relax,
you know what I'm talking about. You know damn well what I'm talking about in STM. You know.
I legitimately don't.
There was.
Night.
Man.
Night. Lay off.
Oh, now
bro.
I feel. Oh no! I opened up a can of worms.
Lay off.
Just forget I said anything.
I didn't hear anything, so let's just keep going. At this point, I'm afraid to ask. I'll leave you alone for 3 minutes, and this is what I come back to. Come on.
Listen, I see things on Twitter, and it leaves an imprint.
Okay.
And not in a good way.
Do you have any
bro.
other questions, Knight Rider, that you have listed on your notes?
was at the very end when Private Detective Sebastian said he wanted to go to the North Arctic. That was very specific. Was that hinting at a new map?
Did you see the credit sequence? You must have, right?
Yeah, I saw the credit sequence.
Did you manage to see a trapdoor?
Yes, with the
Go through the tower.
land split twain.
You got all the pieces there, Mr. Knight. I expect an answer this Sunday.
This
Wait, it
Sunday.
is Sunday. Hold on.
What do you mean?
Next
Yeah.
Sunday. Listen, man.
I'm gonna...
Alright.
Bro, I'm about to come. I'm about to
That's
come
a part
for
of the
real.
ARG, by the way.
Ah,
What do you
come on, man.
Bro,
What
You
are
have
you
to tell us
yeah,
why.
talking about?
Just kidding. Just kidding. Anyway.
That has a problem.
Oh yeah, what... So, what made you think of doing the ARG? Like, when did that idea come into your mind?
November 12th, 2021.
Very specific. All right. Good memory. Good memory.
And to answer why, the last, kind of meta puzzle thing that kind of happened for Unturned was, I would say Russia with the Soul Crystal stuff, but I guess it was Hawaii. That was years ago, man. I want to do something like interesting that wasn't just, okay, here's a map, you're gonna play it for a week and then you're gonna be over with your lives, right? Like, something a bit more interesting. And I could have done some things better in retrospect, but you live, you learn, c'est la vie. So it was a beginning, definitely. Hopefully we can do more extravagant stuff later. And hopefully I can make people besides me do more extravagant stuff. Get the ball
Honestly,
rolling.
I really hope people take their story as seriously as you do. And future maps. I know I'm gonna be having geocaches when I release my map, so
no offense, well I think you take it more seriously than I do.
Hey, it's not a contest. Art isn't a contest.
Well, I don't know. Everyone recently have really raised the bar on what is curatable. So I do hope that does inspire a lot of people. Also, there's been a lot of changes that you all have suggested over the past, I think, 2 years that have been added. So
I think I was pushing for weather since before I even did the map. So I'm glad that I managed to bully Nelson into doing that.
Yes.
During the development of NPC stuff for Kuwait, I actually pushed the game enough times that I had to message Nelson to fix at least 6 or so bugs, and a couple of them aren't actually fixed in the first place right now, actually, and we had to work around them. So there's a lot that had to be done. But I mean, a lot of the features that we have now kind of comes out from development, and it kind of breeds necessitation. So it's nice.
All right. So how did all of these characters in Icarus from such diverse backgrounds come to work for the Kuwaiti military?
Oh, they drove there using a taxi.
And they just decided to join up.
It all started in 1776 when a group of British.
Just to bring up random things now.
Bro,
so,
okay.
4 billion years
that's all
ago,
random.
right? There was a lot of molten material floating around the sun, right? And then eventually it cooled down, and then it got hit by a big rock, and that became the moon, right? And then as a result, there's water. A lot of rocks are hitting this planet,
which is creating a lot of steam.
This bit has become too long.
I really hate the British. What?
Colonizer moment.
Yeah, I like that weapon's name. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I liked it because a lot of British people liked it as well. They know themselves.
Yeah, that's it. No, but
So this is more of a technical question I have now. How are you going to advertise over 200 quests and have 150 of them be the same quest?
It's a little thing called marketing. I wouldn't
the truth.
I wouldn't think you'd understand it.
You could have just said
But,
there was like big
Oh.
mainline quests. I mean, that's what Nelson did for like 3 of his maps. 3 of the maps that he technically said. He said that for Russia, Hawaii, and now Elver, I think. Yeah, all said something in retrospect to that. I don't know why y'all needed to say that when it's mostly fetch quest. By the way,
I mean, when you think about it, isn't every quest a fetch quest?
I guess, but I mean,
Think about it. Like, what else could you do? Like, kill zombies. We've done that before as well.
You lot are missing
Place
something called showmanship.
Showmanship.
Animatic is
Okay.
literally the Divine Dune man in real life.
Oh, I wish I had a beard
What a
like that.
compliment.
Just get one. Just get
Oh,
one.
I'm getting one.
Is the Divine Dune man having an opposable thumb and fingers canon to the lore?
If he feels like it, sure.
Perhaps.
So he is a spirit.
His eyes are front-facing, so he's a predator.
Can I call you a spirit as well, considering you have 2 opposable thumbs?
I mean, he can morph his body, bruh. I don't know what else to say, bruh.
Knight Rider's a spirit.
Who's to tell you it isn't a prop?
Knight Rider's
It's
a
not
spirit.
that big of a deal. I can touch my toes. I'm a spirit now.
I can't.
Let me just disappear.
I mean, you're already more of a spirit than me because I can't touch my toes.
Really?
Maybe you should go exercise.
Yeah.
I have a question for the Knight Rider.
Yes.
Are you wearing the dunce sticker in game? I think I was thinking of you when I made it. Why'd everyone go quiet? I think that's
You just made him leave.
I thought that was a very kind gesture.
I thought you should have left longer, bro.
Rude.
You were
This
gone
is-
for a minute.
This is not how I want it to be referenced.
Another nerd emoji. That's out of 56 minutes.
I don't have a nerd emoji anymore.
I'm going to extend this meme so far. I find it funny that literally almost on everything that Knight writes in his announcement channel, there's always somebody like putting the nerd emoji under it.
No, not with this fucking mess.
He's never asked for any of this, but
So I think the whole eye thing actually being some sort of protector is a good twist. It's like, you know, because the actual Nazar symbol, it's not in real life, it's not really meant to represent an entity. It's like a protective amulet to protect you from the evil eye curse. And
that is true.
yeah, and I definitely I noticed how the disembodied void hand was giving you the hand of Fatima. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But yeah, I noticed that.
Close
Yeah.
enough. You know,
those are real
I've heard
life.
worse.
I just didn't know what they were.
I think giving the trophy like that was pretty nice. Something not a lot of people realized with it. I'm only mentioning this just because I thought it was a cool thing I did, but it's refractive once you place it down, so like refracts everything around it. But besides
Bruh.
that, it's
Z-Man
reference on that.
head ass.
Hello? Hello?
Hey guys, it's me, Z-Man.
Z-Man, we've
Wait,
been
you're telling me
we've been
that-
recording for an hour.
You're telling me that Staswalle, Trident, or me wasn't here, and it was just Chunky Charles and the Nerd Rider alone with the guests?
You
Yeah,
put some
that was a good
respect
time.
on that name, bruh.
Bro, that's cringe, dog. Hold on, I'll get on in a sec.
I'm kicking him out.
I just adopted a new cat.
I'm kicking him out.
Please post a pic.
I kicked him out. Alright. Is there any more questions tonight?
I actually do not have any.
Okay. I want to talk a little bit about Arizona. Man, that was a memory that I did not want to remember, dude. That was nostalgia.
Not want to remember.
I did not, because I remember the expectations to be for 3, and how I had friends back then, like when the development team was still around. I don't even remember who developed it. Was supposed to develop anyway, and they were talking about like, oh, it's gonna be so sick, and they were telling me I was like a staff member for this server, and the owner was telling me this, and I'm like, sure, man, sure. And he just kept talking about it. Like every time, there was maybe like one scenario. I think even recently, the last time I talked to him was like back in 2017. he even brought it up again. But I don't know. It was such a weird memory to be brought. I'm like, oh, this was a thing. And all that came flowing back of all those old staffing days I used to do on that server, and all the conversations we have about specifically that map, which is funny because I think a lot of people who were there will probably have the same feeling I did and be like, fuck. It's just sad, really, but no, it's all good. It was a good reference. I really liked it. Enjoyed it.
I'm just making sure I'm not triggering anyone's PTSD by recreating an Unturned map. But yeah, I definitely took a lot of creative liberties with it because we only have 2 screenshots of it. At least my knowledge, one's the bridge, and the other is just the sun rising over the desert. So
I believe there's 4.
There was one person in my Discord, we were speculating about this all when it happened, that thought that maybe in the Outlands there was some sort of civilization that worshipped the eye because of the eye tents. I was just wondering what are your thoughts on that. Confirm or deny, or neither?
Deny, I'd say.
Oh.
No, not everything there in that environment was always there. Some things were put in place to make things easier on you, the 3.0 fella scrolling through what's that phrase? Like old memory lane or something. I don't know. English is my second language. I'm gonna pull that card out.
Okay.
I like that. That's okay. I like this theme of like an invisible hand guiding the player to their destiny, kinda, or their fate.
Or what's needed.
But yeah, the tent was. I'm sorry.
Or what's needed to be done.
Yeah, what's needed to be done.
You need to blow up this bridge. Why? Don't ask too many questions.
Yeah. Basically.
Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. It'll look cool.
Yeah.
That's enough incentive for an Unturned player.
I love that, by the way. The explosion was pretty fucking cool. I liked it.
Oh yeah, I definitely like that too, and I really liked the boss fight. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'll keep saying it. I think Unturned, in order to save their PvE experience, needs to go down a more like MMO RPG type of route, and that means end-game dungeons and raids with unique loot and unique boss mechanics. And I think you, as well as Elver, actually, especially you, now with this boss fight, proved that unique mechanics are definitely possible.
Spyjack?
Instead of just having the same old attacks.
Just forgetting Spyjack.
I think I brought up, semi-jokingly, semi-seriously, marketing and showmanship and everything. But if I did all this work and put in all this effort only for it to be the all attacks boss from Russia, then I think I would be the biggest deserver of that dunce sticker. So I definitely need to do something special there. And I'm not a fan of just running around the Coliseum and shooting guns, which is why I specifically asked for being able to get chewed out. Oh, that's not what I want to say. Being able to get chewed up by a zombie through a vehicle. You didn't hear that. You didn't hear nothing.
Bro, chill.
And the flashbang, because I think those two things work out pretty nicely. I kind of died inside and people just ran in and started shooting at it with a dragon fang that they spawned in, but it is what it is.
Yeah, some dudes still did that. The Unturned community
is going to happen either way.
Is their own worst enemy, bro.
329. What?
I could have asked for a bullet immunity, but I think that would have made things a lot more frustrating for people. I think part of the design here was that, okay, you can take a few shots at it with a galvanizer or a pistol that allows you to sprint while running, while you're moving, and the floating platforms and everything that allow you to glide faster away and to a turret faster, so you can stun lock it even more consistently. That sort of stuff was just it went through a few iterations just to get it right and to make it more interesting than just holding mouse 1 with an auto weapon and killing it in 0.5 seconds.
Honestly, just tanking all the acid because you got the minus 50% damage armor.
Oh.
Tanking the fire breath.
Oh.
Yeah, I really like the name of the armor, the Falcon's Talon. Badass.
And most of the stuff is like desert themes. Okay, how can we make this more like Arabian? Okay, what's a cool bird? Falcon, eagle. Falcon's more Arabian. What's a bit of a falcon we can use? Okay, wing. No, beak. Falcon's beak sounds weird. Okay, talon. Ooh, that's good. Let's keep that. Write it down. Sorry.
Write that down. Write that down.
That's the thought process, I guess.
Pretty badass. It's stronger than the gaze of the evil eye. See, that's probably why people thought it was the bad guy, because it was called the evil eye. Or maybe that ancient civilization didn't realize that it was trying to protect them either. You know,
I mean, they lived in mud huts. How advanced can they be, right?
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, how advanced could be? Yeah, it's not like they have portable Tesla guns or anything, right?
Man, they barely even have one-room apartments, dude. You're
All right,
telling me
so
this
this is- all right, I
civilization-
gotta
Have
see-
you seen their floor plans?
From a world-building perspective, this is opening up a lot of holes. How did they not conquer the entire Arabian Peninsula? How did they not survive whatever disaster happened? How did people not discover this island sooner and reverse engineer the technology? How are there not dune runners or whatever they're called like everywhere now because they reverse engineered the technology? What happened, Animatic? Why were they erased from history?
They didn't wanna.
Ah!
Hey man, I think you should take a chill pill and just take it down a notch. You feel?
That's horrible.
Bro, I don't feel.
That's
All I feel is rage.
Rage.
Just
quick
kidding.
answer.
I love the map.
Yeah, the British are quite what a race. So take that as
Man.
well.
They aren't even people.
But-
They aren't even people, bro. Like,
This
come on,
realistically just goes into other like things that I mentioned earlier, which is it's a different dimension or something. Maybe they couldn't go through, you know. They couldn't make. They couldn't build a Radio Shack with like a strong enough connection to our reality.
bro. Okay.
Yeah, I want you to write down Radio Shack with a trademark as well. Okay, respect the
Okay.
name.
This is
Radio Shack still exists. It's crazy.
isn't there like a couple left? There's not even that many.
The one near me got replaced with a weed dispensary, so
Oh, honestly, just
Yeah.
no.
Grr. I'm angry.
Well, I don't know. I don't really have any more questions besides maybe like memes, but that's kind of
yeah. Ask the memes, bro. We've been this is our most lore heavy episode, and
How
we
many other
are
questions?
a well-rounded
Just wait till we get to a
podcast.
specific. Just wait till we get to a
Yeah, I haven't-
specific episode, and then
I haven't asked
I'll
all the
post it.
questions in the questions channel.
Yeah, I think so, right?
No,
Some
you
of
haven't.
them
You
are
haven't? Well, Night.
better than the
Night.
others.
I think we immediately went to the lore, so
Wait, drop the ball, man. That's messed up.
So I wrote. All right, I got my. Oh, not even half a page of notes, but it's enough. With this added context, I can go back and rewatch the video. I'm gonna make the best lore video that I've ever made.
I'm really starving him for content here, aren't I? He was expecting a whole monologue, and I gave him 2 sentences.
Honestly, it'd
What?
be like that.
Night. Apparently, there's more questions. Come on.
NSTM, delete that right now.
I'm gonna have to put that on the screen. I can't even put GIF.
NSTM, delete that right now. Fuck you!
Someone's getting a bit cranky.
I'm not cranky. I'm
Well,
Take
not.
that cat.
I'm not.
why don't you go on
Looks
best
straight into his
Aw.
eyes.
Aw, cute cat, cute cat.
Stare into his eyes.
I'm staring into his eyes.
So,
I think he stared a bit too hard.
this AIDS. Okay, well, I think that's it. I don't really think there's anything else, unless Knight missed questions.
I mean, I remember I was
Well,
checking
if
the
I-
question chat, thinking about how to answer all these things,
Mhm.
and then I just heard like 2 of them, and then we stopped doing them. So
Nice.
Well, I'm not gonna look. I'm not gonna. Well, let me look at some of these questions. I'm not gonna ask you. Why the Among Us Imposter Balls HD Among Us HD Imposter Balls Sex Ball HD.
yeah, just do
Didn't we
another
answer
one
that
then.
one?
Mm-hmm.
I
I think
think
Answer it. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, Star LVE says, "Why the fuck did you make a body pillow and not Imposter Among Us Balls in HD? That is the exact reason why I left a negative review in Steam for Unturned."
That sounds more like a you problem, mate.
I hate that.
Honestly, let me see some of these other dumb, stupid, idiot meme questions.
Mhm.
Gyro asks, "Does gay pride exist in Kuwait or the grander schemes of Unturned in a whole?"
I genuinely don't even understand if that's a question.
Yeah,
for,
I
like,
don't like.
reality or not, and I think you could do 2 minutes of research to figure that one out now.
Honestly, though, and I don't know if I asked. Witness Protection asks, "Are you gonna answer my questions? Please say yes, TY."
Yes, Richard, I gave an emphatic yes to your questions, but I cannot guarantee that they'll make it into the final cut of the episode.
I know.
Cheers.
I don't even cut.
Bro,
anything.
Charles is the laziest editor. He doesn't cut anything.
Bro,
even when
I
I
got other
ask,
things to do,
bro.
man. Like you think this is like everything I do?
Oh, this is a good one, actually. Lore question to Animatic and NSTM. What happens to Admiral Isk after completing the final quest? Where did he go?
I did not place down the right NPC. He should be back, but he's just,
She's just taking a nap on the ship right now. Just give her a sec.
Isk is on a sabbatical, honey.
Oh, that's a her. Oh, okay.
Wait, it's a her?
Wait, it's a girl.
Wait,
Man, I'm not turned on anymore. I mean,
Oh yeah, he's taking a break right now, so they're just on the ship. Just give him a sec.
two
We'll be back next
Animatic is. Oh wait, okay. Actually, wait here. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did they go? Oh yeah. Gyro asks again, why in the trailer were the 2 men able to be at Booby on Island without gas masks?
they were not on the island, they were watching from across the channel. Also, it's called Bubian. Yeah, right. SMH.
Oh, here's a good question. Why did you change to actually the guy for the eye quest? Why did you change his clothing to be the private eye instead?
Charles was very disappointed.
Yes, I was.
I think it's a lot more interesting than stuff that's already in the game, and also
so do
nice
I.
bundle. I think you should really buy it.
Yeah, go buy the bundle right now. Put the link up on screen right now. Link it in the description.
We'll put a link. You know. I'm not gonna drop names, but some people were saying that this update was just a cash grab.
I mean,
I don't buy that. I don't think it was.
If it was a cash grab, I could have added one location and just be done with it now.
Like a small box.
I'm not entitled to add anything. I could have just put cosmetics up, got them in game, and just vanished.
L. Honestly, L.
I'd go work for Ubisoft. That's what I'd do.
True. That is very true.
I assume there's no more questions.
I don't have any more.
No. You don't have any more.
There's no more on the questions list?
Right.
Staswalle asks, is there a lore explanation to the humongous hands of the Dune Man?
Could be a prop, could be his feeling. Just forms a new hand just for a gag. He's a golden heart, man. Let him do what he pleases. He's not hurting anyone.
Mm-hmm.
True.
One of the questions is from Jay Dance asking if I use an NPC maker when making the NPCs. I did not. I just wrote them all by hand. I do not like NPC makers because they're not very expansive when it comes to actually doing things that you want to do in the game.
Feather, pen, and paper.
Yeah, like literally, like a lot of the simple things, like I already did them myself, and even then, some of the complex NPCs, I write my own program to do it. So,
Knight, you're so slacking that NS has to read out questions.
Listen, I just figured it was like a. I think it's obvious that those NPCs were handcrafted. If it was just an NPC generator, it would not have the traces of love and care put into those pieces of art. NSTM, Animatic, you guys are geniuses.
I think you're misusing that word.
Take the fucking compliment. Take the fucking compliment, bro.
I'm an unturned mapper. I don't think I'm a genius. I appreciate the good thought, though, the goodwill.
I love both of you.
Okay. Is that the end of the question list? Is Night Rider slipping still?
Yes, that's the end of the question list, and my sanity is slipping.
Okay. Well, I think
we'll put on best survival.
I think we're done with everything. It was good to have you guys on. It was pretty fun. I enjoyed my time. I assume Knight also enjoyed his time. Now he has like a whole video he has to go ahead and work on. Like,
bro, I got like 3 videos planned for Kuwait.
Yeah, you're gonna have a fun time. Yeah. I hope you like lose a finger or something so you can't write.
Bro, what?
I think you shouldn't have said that. I think there's a much more elegant way of
just lose a finger.
Yeah, making him upset.
Well, that's a reference too. I hope no one got it, but it's okay. Well, this concludes this episode of the Unturned Podcast. I've been your host, cucuycharles, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye!
Alright, goodbye. Goodbye!
Bye!